What Houzeo has done to help me is it gave me a distribution platform to market the house. I know that my house went to as many people as possible by listing with Houzeo, and then they had a nexus or a relationship with a board of realtors through a realtor member that they could put it on MLS. And that got into all the other websites. And then really the distribution and the marketing value of that was very valuable. And that's why I listed it with Houzeo. My name is Schauseil. I sold my house through Houzeo, and I saved over $30,000 by doing that. There are Realtor.com, Redfin, Zillow, but Houzeo had we researched it quite extensively, my sister and I, and Houzeo had more to offer than the other ones did. Also, reviews that we had read throughout the internet of other people's experiences. Houzeo had the best reviews. The reason I liked Houzeo was that it also had the ability to advertise on all the other major networks for business for sale by owner sites: Zillow, Realtor.com, Redfin. At the beginning, I did. He did answer the call at the beginning, and we discussed a few things. And I just wanted, because I understood his responsibility and his role as the realtor member of the board of that realtors, that he has certain responsibilities. So I wanted to make sure he understood about us being in probate and et cetera, and that I like full disclosure and transparency. So I wanted to make sure that he knew exactly what we had and where we were and what we were offering and what we could do. And he agreed, says, well, let's go ahead and list it. So that's why we listed it. It was responsive, very easy to use. And we didn't run into portions where the system froze. We didn't run into parts where we could not enter data without a response. So, I mean, it was there was the response of reminders that you have so many tasks left was helpful as well, reminding that you know, instead of just depending on the user to realize that they needed to continue, that they had more steps. Houzeo reminded you that you had 8 tasks left, 2 tasks left. So that was very important in their technology, to be responsive to the progress of the user. And I think that part of the technology helped somebody to continue along. Because it's confusing enough, the real estate, the questions and listings and what to say and how to handle things, what's very important, what's not so important. That's just experience and knowledge of the real estate industry. But for Houzeo to come back and say that you have not finished this step, you have not finished this document, you have 8 tasks remaining, was very helpful. So. Because I have 38 years experience in the real estate industry, I've been a broker. I understand the industry very well. So I don't need another real estate agent to tell me how to explain things to me. They were very attentive. They answered the phone calls. They answered the questions. They did the follow-up. They got back to me. They were very good to work with, and that's one of the things that we stayed with them, and we would renew the listing if we needed to. But fortunately for us, somebody has come and put it under contract, so we don't need to continue to market it. We also called and talked to Victor and Neil, and who were very helpful during that, because the questions we had sometimes got to the point where we needed somebody to explain it. And they answered the phones, they explained it. We talked to them quite frequently before we actually signed up. Oh yes, if they were gonna, matter of fact, people come to me and want me to help them sell their house, and I really don't do that. I refer them out. If they don't work out, if they say no, I'd rather do it myself, I tell them, look, I'll give you some casual advice, but I would tell them to go on Houzeo and list with Houzeo. Because that would save me a lot of time. They wouldn't have to come to me and ask me a lot of questions. Every now and then I might get a question. Okay, my advice for the home sellers would be that they should select a website that's going to work with them personally, because even though the selling of a house or buying of a house seems rather simple to somebody who's been in the business for a number of years, to somebody new at it, it can be very, very complicated. And one of the things that you can do with Houzeo is you can contact people who will talk to you on the phone and guide you through this. And these are the customer service people with Houzeo. That's very, very important. And getting advice over the phone from a voice, a personalized person, an actual person, is very important, because that way you can understand it. Instead of just trying to research it yourself or find it on Google, they can tell you exactly what you need to do when you need to do it. And they answer their phones, and they talk to you, and they follow up, and they get back to you. So I would recommend Houzeo for those reasons.